What's up, everybody? In this one, I'm going to be showing you how to change your oil in your vehicle, save money. So there's some things you're going to need. First thing being the new oil. Now you can't just go to the store and buy any oil. What I like to do is use Google, type in year, make, model of your car, the size of the motor, and it'll let you know which viscosity of the oil you need and whether you use full synthetic blend, or conventional oil. Now, another thing I like to use that you don't have to is heavy duty oil stabilizer.
Matter. They strengthen your oil to fight friction, dry starts, and wear, extending the life of your engine, your oil, and your investment.
Of course, the new oil filter, a funnel, a ratchet or a wrench to loosen up the drain plug, and a drain pan. So let's get to it. I'm going to start sliding some things under. Now, when you're under the vehicle, there's two things you need to look for. One is the drain plug for the old oil. So it's different on every model vehicle. Sometimes it's in the back, sometimes it's on the right side, the left side. So just figure out, again, where it is for your vehicle. So as you've seen, I just cracked it loose with a wrench. Now after that, what I like to do is hold my pan up, slowly just start to turn with my hand until the oil plug is loose enough to come out. And just let all that drain out. Now on some vehicles there's a magnet at the end of this plug, so take a rag and wipe it off. Now, while the oil is still draining out, there's another thing you can locate. For me, it's right on the front of the motor, and that would be your oil filter itself. Now, these shouldn't be tight. Depending on who installed it, it should be hand tight with a quarter turn after. So give yourself a turn, and it depends on how the vehicle is engineered. This one was very poor because there's still oil in it and it runs down the frame, so it makes a mess. Put a bucket under it and try to catch as much as possible, but you're going to slowly take the filter off. Try to make as little mess as possible, but with this truck, like I said, the engineering, they weren't thinking too hard when they did it. All right, the old filter's off. Just try to clean up some of the mess. As you can see, there's oil all over the front subframe. So give it a wipe down to the best of your abilities, and then we'll get ready to put the new filter on. Shenanigans tip of the day: don't just take your filter out the box and screw it up directly. What I like to do is get a little bit of old oil on your hand or new oil. I'm just doing it because I'm already under here, and put it on the ring of the filter because it allows it to spin easier. It won't kink up on you and cause leaks down the road. So put a little oil on that ring and it'll save you a headache down the road. Once the oil has stopped dripping from the filter housing, go ahead and screw your new filter up. Now, like I said before, the filter does not need to be super tight. Get it on there as tight as you can by hand, and then give it a quarter turn. And that's all there is to replacing the filter. All right, now that all the oil is drained out of the vehicle, our filter's replaced, let's go ahead and put the plug back in the drain. Now that the drain plug's back in, all the work is going to be from the top side. Now, the reason I just took the car off the ramps is because when you're filling it up, you don't want to have it on a big angle because it's not going to read the same on the dipstick. So there's two things under the hood which you need to know. All right, now that the car is on more level ground, what you're going to do is take your oil fill cap off, your dipstick to check the oil, and your fill plug is this heavy duty oil stabilizer. And the way this thing's built, it's kind of like a funnel already. So what I like to do is take this cap off here and then remove the tamper seal. You're gonna have to be a little fast with this. Just try to put it directly into the hole and let that start to drain. Now that's very thick, So it's going to take a little bit of time to drain out, but once it's fully out, I'm going to show you another trick so you don't even have to buy a funnel. Now, you can take a knife and cut off the top of this jug. And what that's going to do is, first of all, allow air to push the oil stabilizer down faster. Now, if you do use this product, which I recommend only because, like I said, it extends the life of the motor, you have to account for the extra quart of oil that will be in place of this, because you do not want to overfill the motor. Alright, so it looks like all of our stabilizers went into the motor, so start to take your oil and dump it into the homemade funnel which you have just made with your heavy duty oil stabilizer. Try not to make a mess here, because if it lands on the exhaust or anything, it will start to smoke. Now, to check the fluid level, you're going to take your dipstick. I like to put a rag on it right away and pull it directly out. Now, there are 2 dots or notches depending on your vehicle. One is the minimum level and one is the maximum level. And there's going to be a crosshatch pattern. I don't know if you can see it. So that's your top and that's your bottom. You don't want to go lower than that, and you don't want to overfill the motor, so stay inside that line somewhere. Once you're at the correct amount of oil that you checked on your dipstick, you're going to want to remove the funnel. Now, this stuff will make a mess, so what I like to do is have a rag ready, keep it around the bottom, and as soon as you pull it out, put the rag there. This way it catches as much fluid as possible. You're going to want to go ahead, wipe off any extra oil that you have may spilled, and tighten in your drain or your fill cap. Once all that's done, you're ready to start the motor. Alright, I just got back from checking the oil level on level ground because my driveway is on a slight incline. Now, when you're done, you're going to have the oil in your drain pan. What I like to do is take a funnel, put it into the top of the jug, which you just put the fresh oil into your truck, and pour the oil into the old jug. As always, thanks for watching. Please like, please subscribe, and go check out some of my other videos.